You are listening to the Work-Life Eubiosis podcast with your host, Charleston Edwards. If this is your first time here, welcome. My goal is simple, to bring harmony and balance to this world, starting with the family. There is so much more to life than the 9 to 5, and this show is designed to bring you inspiration, motivation, and practical solutions to bring balance and joy back to your life. Work-life balance is not a myth, it's a choice. Themes on this show range widely between faith, family rhythms, work, and lifestyle philosophies. You will also hear burning ladder essays submitted by our community of friends and listeners who ditched the rat race, beat burnout to pursue a more balanced and purposeful life. My hope is that this show and the stories shared will provide encouragement, motivation, and will provide some ideas that will be valuable to you on your journey to work-life freedom. So let's dive into today's episode. Last Monday, our family stopped and gathered in the front yard to take in the long-anticipated eclipse. After a lot of research on where to go to get the best view, we were excited that the forecast was in our favor right at home. For the first part of the 2-hour experience, there were clear skies, leading us to believe we would be able to witness the climax at 3:19. As it got closer to 3:19, the clouds started to blow in, leaving us with just a couple short glimpses of the full eclipse. Though the conditions didn't turn out perfect, we were thankful for the parts we did see and the memorable time we had experienced as a family. Yes, we could have driven 10 hours north to dodge the clouds, but we found contentment together in the fun of seeing our version of perfection, even in the short little bouts. In life, we tend to look for perfect conditions. We want the perfect job, perfect pay, perfect plans for retirement, the perfect community, perfect workplace, perfect school, perfect friends. The list goes on and on for the ideal conditions that are like a magnet to our soul. There is nothing wrong with pursuing ideal conditions, but we have to be careful not to miss the perspective of where we are at first. Perfect looks different from different vantage points. Perfect can have a different meaning to everyone and can come from many different perspectives. As we navigate leaving the less than ideal conditions of our lives to land in a place that nurtures our desires, it's imperative that we take an inventory first of where we're at, assess where we want to go, and then how we are going to get there. Last week's Eubiosis kicked off the series on the theme of organization and featured an inspirational burning ladder of one of our community members who set aside her career to nurture the family. The story is foundational to the purpose of burning ladders, which is to bring awareness to the world at large that there are other ways to make a living and to make a life. Climbing the ladder is not the only way up. Burning ladders is a reminder that we must protect our values, our family, our faith, and our health in a dark culture that often neglects the importance of a full life. No, we shouldn't all burn our corporate ladders today. That would be reckless. But we should all take inventory of our lives and ask if we are in the ideal conditions. Is my family healthy? Am I healthy? Am I living truly to my priorities? Am I moving towards my purpose and how I was designed to contribute to this world? What am I motivated by in my workplace? What am I motivated by in my home? Are my motivations pure with no agendas? The questions above are not normal. Life assessments are not normal. So proactive lifestyle reorganization is also not normal. We tend to ask deep life questions and make moves only when we experience cloudy skies or when turbulence hits home. When the clouds blow in, we look for bluer skies. I'm a broken record on this, but the pandemic put us all on the same plane as we faced the dangers that came with COVID-19. Our relationship with time changed. Our relationship with what we were doing with our time also changed. Check out the short ebook, March 2020, if you want to dig deeper into this perspective. If you're not on my email list, you can sign up through the link in the show notes to receive a transcript and a link to March 2020. Though we all got back to normal, millions around the globe reorganized their lives. The deep life questions were being asked in every household. What are we doing with our lives? In response, city centers were abandoned. Entrepreneurs were born. Quiet quitters shut down early. Boomers went into early retirement. 4-day work weeks became the buzz, and the Great Resignation grew like a tsunami. And the list goes on and on. This global life event was tragic for many, but held a silver lining for millions who decided to reorganize their lives. Though global, the pandemic was atypical. Typical life events also lead to shuffling and reorganization. So let's take a look at the top 15. Getting married or divorced. Death of a loved one or widowed. Welcoming new kids to home. Launching kids from home. Buying a home. Caring for aging parents. Burned out, sick, or injured. Loss of income or work reduction. Career change. Reaching the midlife milestone, aka 40 years old. Seeking adventure, novelty, or a different pace. Not connected or engaged with community. Retirement. Promotion or mandatory move like a deployment. And lastly, winning the lottery. We all have our reasons for the many pivots in life, but it does not make it easy. Even winning the lottery comes with many pains. Our lives are going to be full of sunny days and cloudy days. This is a fact of life. As the wind blows, so do our troubles. We can't let our circumstances blow us around, and we must know what we stand for, where we're going, and how we're going to get there. We can't always change our circumstances, but we can change our responses. Our perspective in cloudy days and blue skies must remain the same. Being grounded in purpose, values, and mission is critical for our everyday journeys. Mission and values define what's most important. Every family that is able to outline their core purpose as a family unit will find direction on how to approach life regardless of the storms that roll through. However, there will always be times when we have to adjust, have to move, and change course. But before we do that, we must do a full assessment as a family. I have a few friends who are currently contemplating reorganizing their lives. From career changes to moving across state lines, they are ready for bluer skies. Such moves require strategic planning and a bit of an assessment to ensure that such a big move is the appropriate move. For those of you who don't know, I've designed a guide for such transitions, and it's called Who's Home? Its design is not for buying a new house. It's about the relationships inside the home and how that coincides with how we spend our time. If we have a bad relationship with time, it drives a wedge in our relationships with others. Who's Home was designed to help families leave the rat race pace behind, but it's also a manual for intentional living. It's a strategic plan that provides a 30,000-foot view of the entire family, our children's needs, scheduling, and goal setting. The workbook helps families answer the question, what are we doing with our lives? Today, I'm proud to be giving away a significant portion of the workbook, which is exercise number 2, the Life Aspirations Assessment. There are 9 questions in this assessment that help families better prepare and take inventory before big moves, big purchases, and career changes. Before any voluntary or involuntary leap into the unknown, these questions will make jumping a little bit less risky. As I've heard time and time again from those who are using the book, the strategic planning helps families to get on the same page, with the same mission, and on the same wavelength. So let's review the questions. Number 1, how do our careers, hours on the job, and work obligations align with our family values? Number 2, how do our family habits and rituals impact our family health? What areas can be strengthened and what areas are serving us well? Number 3, what life goals do we have as parents, and how do our schedules align to get us there? Number 4, what do we wish for our kids now and for their future? Number 5, what do we stand for as a family? Is it freedom, honesty, creativity, adventure, etc.? Number 6, what do we wish our family to be remembered for? Number 7, what kind of relationships do we enjoy and wish to have more of? What types of missions or volunteer work do we like to support? Number 8, where have we as a family thrived that defines who we are at the core? Do we wish to keep going this way? What are the hurdles holding us back from living fully in our thriving state? And number 9, how much money do we really need for our current and ideal lifestyle? What are the main sources of income, and do we foresee a change in the next 2 years? What changes could we make now? If your family is facing a transition or just cloudy skies, I hope that these questions are valuable for you. Chasing perfect skies is not a bad thing, but let's be careful to not haphazardly elevate above the clouds without first assessing where we are at. The clouds will pass by, but the clouds will also come back again. At the end of the day, we must answer the question if we are navigating these skies with purpose, on mission, and together. Go by Who's Home today and help your family better prepare for life's transitions. Invest in your family's strategic plan and have fun coming up with your household mission statement. Create a manifesto with all the values that you stand for. This workbook is your GPS system for life and an ideal path for building a legacy that you'll be proud of. Thank you for listening to the Work Life You by OSAS podcast, part of the Work Life resources created by Own Your 5 to 9. I hope that you have found encouragement and a few ideas to strengthen your journey to purpose, freedom, and balance. Have you overcome burnout and found a new way of life? Millions around the globe are still at the risk of burnout and losing it all, and your story may be the one that sparks not only a dream, but action. Visit ownyour5to9.com for more information and to submit your story. While you're there, join the Work Life You by OSAS newsletter and receive additional resources weekly right to your inbox. If you enjoy this podcast, take time to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Share it with a friend or a loved one. Remember, the most important organization in the world is the family. Let's do our part to strengthen it. Thank you for listening.